There's the insults.
Hit me with it.
All right, let's just get right into it, though. First tiebreaker match of the day. Who we got? United and Dolos.
Yeah, we saw this match earlier, and we saw Dolos kind of get ran over.
Yeah.
The Shifu of Sremia kind of ruined Dolos. Like,
yeah.
It didn't even look close. Like, Sremia absolutely popped off. We'll see what comp adjustments will be made by Dolos in order to fight back, because Dolos is a team that is very, very versatile.
Yeah.
Both Clarny and Jürgen can play a lot of different characters. So after they lost that match, I'm sure they'll bring something different to this next one.
Your Nightmare, we saw him play pretty well. I think it was on Rook.
He played the Thorn.
Oh, yeah, it was the Thorn.
Yeah, he got chopped down.
Yeah, it was the Thorn.
Yeah, they cut the forest. Save the rainforest.
You know, I know that Rakan's not nearly as good as he used to be, but I want to see him break it out.
Yeah, we're not seeing Rakan.
I know.
That's actually in the back of my mind.
It's a dream.
That's a character that I actually think has a lot of potential, but it's not being treated like anything by the pro scene.
Yeah.
He really thrives in a very passive play style, which I think a lot of people don't really want to play. But anyways, we won't see Rakan.
No, I mean, talking about best range in the game, Rakan
Yes.
he has his moments.
Have you ever been shadow bolted with that amplify? Just taking 36 damage.
Have you ever lost half your health at once?
Yeah. Have you ever been jade sniped with a less obvious cast?
Yeah.
God. Anyways, we got Lucy and Pearl. So Clarny, he feels like the Lucy wasn't the problem, and the Lucy obviously is very good against Pearl for the reasons I've said prior. After dive, if you get gooed, Pearl doesn't really have a lot of mobility spells, especially with the Clarity Potion. Clarity can both cleanse off the bubble shield that Pearl will obviously apply to herself and push her even deeper in that goo.
Yep. And you got to be careful, make sure not to push the wrong direction, but these are pros, they're not going to do that. So the support's coming out early on. We're going to see Varesh coming in for Dolos, and there it is, Esmo. Haven't seen him a lot since week 1-ish.
Yes.
Did we see him a lot last week? I shouldn't speak for a week I wasn't here.
Watch your tongue, young man.
Yeah, you know?
No, we didn't see him all that much. A lot of players seem to be opting to not play the Esmo.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of Ashka for Excafoo specifically instead of the Esmo, and Hot Biscuit is switched almost exclusively back over to Ashka. So you're right. That trend has definitely been a thing. Okay, Dolos. I was going to say I expect to see the Rook. I thought maybe they wanted to just go ham just like they did last match with the Varesh Rook cheese. Give him that Gouda. Give him that nice cheese melt sandwich. But that's not what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing the Esmo Bako out of E United as well. Very interesting comps. I feel a little bit concerned for Dolos once again, though, I got to say.
Thorn and Varesh working together with a Lucy. I mean, you do have a lot of protection against self-sustain, shields, all sorts of business. So the burst damage that you might see, but what you got to worry about is the Bako incaps into Esmo ults, into Pearl ults, into Bako ults.
This is E United too.
Yeah.
This is the team that does it. This is how they won the first qualifier. I'm not going to let anybody forget that E United was the first qualifier for the BPL. These guys are the #1 seed, and they did it with some nasty combos with the Bako and the Esmo and the Pearl. So this is really their bread and butter, and it's what they're going to bring to the table. But the Lucy is pretty good against that combo playstyle simply because of the clarities, and we saw earlier Clarny's clarities having massive effects.
We haven't spoken as much just about CC in general. As players get better, I don't want to say CC gets less important, but the timing gets better, so you're not as substantial CC can become now more substantial. So you look at things even like a Pearl Silence, where I think you look at 7-8 months ago, people didn't really consider something you can combo off of very frequently.
Yeah.
But as players get better, obviously, now you can combo off of things like Shackle, you can combo off of things like Silence, because people just in general are getting significantly better. So you see these kind of more complex combinations coming out as the scene establishes itself. But same goes for panics into silences for Jürgen, into shatters, into moves. All these things happen as these players get better. But I'm with you. I think Dolos might have a little bit of a tough time.
I'm interested to see how this Lucy pick is going to work. And, of course, your Nightmare, there's a big target on his back. I don't mean to throw too much shade at the boy, but he looked like he struggled quite a lot in E United versus Dolos earlier on today. So whether or not this Thorn is able to farm that first bar of energy, enough to have the Barbed Husk without taking too much damage, is going to be a big determining factor in whether or not Dolos is able to take it.
Match is about to begin. Tiebreaker to see who takes second place. There's a better position moving forward here in the Battlerite Pro League. You go, Gong Man.
You go. Do your job.
Similar style. We're going to see Bako go for Jürgen and then swap to Clarny once he gets a chance.
Your Nightmare.
Getting kept at bay.
Doing much better, Carpet. He already has that energy and hasn't lost too much health, and he's kind of toying with this Esmo.
He's got literally full health, just enough energy, but they will lose that orb. Sremia is going to do a good job of making sure he keeps up the pressure. Forcing the roll out of Clerney.
Oh, sick shackle. The barrier's there to negate some of the damage, but a very unfavorable trade there for Your Nightmare at the end of the day.
Definitely turned significantly different when it looked like Your Nightmare had the opening and a lot more health pool. Now he's actually got less than both the players that he was trying to punish. Bako having to try and get out of that silence shatter from Jürgen. They'll secure an orb while Your Nightmare gets an ult on a Naraga. Jürgen's got an ult. Will we see him? No, the incapacitate. They don't know the ult is there. They won't break the incap. Surmea just gets out of there as well as Naraga. I think a little bit early on the shot of that goo from Clerney, but it will help them secure more shards and probably get them this orb.
Absolutely. That goo I don't think was a damage shoot goo, but more of a zoning ultimate as it forced E United all the way back into their spawn and Dolos secure all the objectives. Off the back of that, they now have a 20% HP lead, Carpet.
Naraga not getting his counter hit. Bako going in.
Oh, the clarity! The barbed husk and the barrier are both applied, so not much damage is going to come out here. Oh, the ultimate lands on the petrified Lucy. Big burst of damage coming out onto Dolos, but that's all the energy E United had to bring to the table. They're now without anything.
They did get an orb that's going to be huge, but 1, 2, 3 hits onto Surmea. He's about to get silenced. He gets pulled. He won't find the shadow, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to go down. Your Nightmare getting low, but I don't know if there's the burst damage right now we're going to see from Xkafu without an ultimate. He does have an ultimate now. There he goes. He's just going to pull it. The EX space from Your Nightmare to help finish off.
Oh, the Pearl ulti. Well, I thought it might catch 2, but it's only going to catch 1. And with that, the Pearl, she's going to be alive for a little bit, as Pearl generally does. But she's inevitably going to go down to this goo in Judgment.
You know, when I first saw that goo come out from Clerney, as you mentioned, was a zoning goo. That ended up being massive for that kind of stabilized phase where they all started to reset their cooldowns.
Yep.
But getting the orb, getting all those shards, energy, and health shards really just helped put them in a better position. And Dolos from there could just play a lot more confidently.
Interesting Battlerite selection, too, from Clerney. I believe that Panic Flask Battlerite is Hysteria, the cooldown reduction, a Battlerite that I'm actually very fond of, but I never see Lucy's taking. Clerney finding really high value and clarity in Petrified this game, I guess.
Your Nightmare had a great opening last match, but that's not going to look nearly as good this time. One silence directly into another. He has no more cooldowns to deal with all this. He finally gets the energy for Barb Husk. Bako's just going to try and dump damage wherever he can. Almost everything making contact shatter just to push it further away.
Beautiful crush from Jürgen to make sure the red team secured the orb as he understood how badly Your Nightmare needs it. He's trying to farm up that ultimate Carpet. He finally gets to it, and I feel like he's going to be looking for an opportunity here. He finds one and gets a decent amount of damage, but is answered by the Esmo ult. Man, both characters on the side of each team so low now.
Bako almost had an ultimate. The shackle almost stopping Your Nightmare from getting the health, and there's going to be the incapacitate. They wanted to go for orb, but they couldn't get it in time. They didn't go for the kill on Your Nightmare either, who almost has another ultimate up again. He might just use it for mobility's sake to get away from this. No, he doesn't need to. Jürgen keeps them at bay. The ultimate from Lucy is going to help them get the kill onto Xkafu. The ult from Thorn, a little bit overkill, I'd say.
And this comp is working much better for Dolos. I really like having Jürgen on the Varesh with Your Nightmare's Thorn because the shields are so incredibly impactful. We characterize Your Nightmare as somebody that often overextends. If he has that Inhibitor's Guard, oh, he might actually go down here, but as I say that, the Inhibitor's Guard comes out just in case he needed the shielding.
If he spaces, he's done. He's just going to eat up Bako ult to the face. He breaks line of sight. Bako catches him. Almost gets the stun onto Jürgen as well. That's actually huge. Jürgen has an ult. He wants to try and kill Bako right here and right now. Oh, he helped secure the orb as well.
Yeah,
Bako wanted to steal those green shards.
The energy, too, so favoring Dolos. As the ultimate available for Clerney, Pearl has to play very safe.
She has to just help Surmea stay alive as long as possible. He mounts up. He's going to grab some yellows. He dodges the M1s. This is actually pretty big. The EX Shatter's going to push it. Oh, but he secures it with an axe. That's actually huge. Surmea now, he's gone in. He kind of has to stay in now. He's going to flick the Panic Flask back into Clerney.
Carpet, they're slowly but surely bringing themselves back into this. The HP pool is now even, though most of E United's HP is sitting on Naraga. Bako, he still has to play incredibly safe. A couple heal charges missed from Naraga, too. That's not a good look for Surmea's max HP pool.
No, Clerney and Jürgen both have an ult. He goes for the orb. I love the confidence. He gets pushed out. He wants to stay because, he's got to keep that space.
Nice crush there, getting him back in sudden death, and he jumps back into the goo. Bako, he's trying to find somewhere to go, Carpet, but there's nowhere.
The goo not doing damage, even with the animation still there, and somehow Bako still lives. But there he will finally go down. But Naraga If Naraga can secure an orb right now.
Oh, that are available for Jürgen. Naraga tried to go for it all and ended up getting nothing. He's still in this, so this is still possible as a Pearl. But Clerney, he's very close to the goo, and with sudden death becoming so small, it's unlikely that Naraga will be able to escape the goo.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great place for Pearl to find herself. A 1v2 in overtime for sudden death. She can secure an orb. She's almost got an ultimate, actually, before Clerney gets hers. That was a really nicely timed everything.
That was a good, nice yes.
A good, nice yes, panic timed.
Yes. And Dolus, they're taking another round. And that round went really late. I really liked the way Jürgen started to play in that 2v2 at the end. He recognized Sormea had used all of his mobility spells and just really posted up in front of him. Was like, what are you going to do? And Jürgen with that full HP Varesh just put Bako down.
The final spacebar, I think, was really interesting from Sormea. I don't know if it was a misclick or if a panic click. But he spaceboard kind of back into the goo as opposed to down by Pearl.
Yeah.
And by those green shards as well. And then he kind of had to use a little bit of mobility to negate damage. But either way, kept it close in the 2v3. The bubbles are down. Bako's just trying to walk in.
Ooh, he takes a lot of damage already. Not too much damage going onto the Thorn. He almost farms up that Barbed Husk too, and he has it. Nightmare, he's doing really well to start this round off.
Sormea will hit the Barbed Husk at least once, but no more than that. He's smarter.
Pull.
Great pull, barrier down. Won't get this done. Red team took the orb.
I really like the way Clerney played that, positioning in front of the orb and eating the Chaos Grip so Jürgen could secure it. Now the ultimate coming out, going to get no value, but Thorns will get some. Still, Pearl not taking all that much damage. Sormea, though, taking a lot.
That wasn't great. I mean, that was literally 200% energy for maybe 40 damage on a Naraga. But on the plus side, Sormea was just chasing down his support the whole time, wouldn't find a lot of heals.
Yep.
They will secure this orb, so they'll at least get 75% back total with the team. Jürgen's got an ult. He's going to take a lot of damage for this. Good silence pull from Esma, who does have his ult as well. Will he try and find Your Nightmare? No. Too many things up. Barbed Husk barrier.
Yeah, we're getting to that scary situation too. A nice pull onto the Lucy leads into an in-cap. Maybe they'll find the Esma ultimate. It will land onto the Thorn and secure the orb. Doesn't hit the Lucy though. And Lucy, she's very close to goo. This is not good for United.
No, it's not. Thorn actually might go down. Oh my God,
Thorn!
He just got his ultimate off. Bako tried to find the spacebar. No, Varesh. He just gets out of the third tick, but he'll still get shattered and killed.
Yeah, a nice chase down from Jürgen after getting that ultimate, and United look like they're going to lose yet another round. The Clarity Potion being thrown onto Your Nightmare to keep him alive, and now the goo. Sormea disconnecting, maybe a little bit of a connection issue. Yeah, it's looking like this round is all but over. Xcafu, the only one that's left. Naraga just getting destroyed.
Much different than the last time we saw this matchup.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and it's funny because we were both questioning Dolus's comp and whether or not it would be successful.
Yeah.
But this Varesh pick really paying dividends, and they're getting a lot of damage out. And Thorn, Your Nightmare is playing so much better.
Your Nightmare, I mean, his openings have just been very, very solid. Essentially what would happen last time is he'd always go in and come back out, just losing the trade, not finding a lot of value. You know, just taking a look at a couple of the clips that had happened so far. A Dolos kill here, trying to chase down Bako, who barely gets out of the Jürgen ult, but just couldn't stay out long enough.
Excellent Clarity Potion to dispel that bulwark, and what led into that was a very beautiful pull from the Thorn. Your Nightmare, just in the round we were just watching, he's having huge, very high impact pulls. He had a pull on the Pearl to pull her out of position, forcing her to use her dive, and immediately from that point on, Naraga had to play on the back foot. And that's really the power of the Thorn. You can force a positioning error on the enemy side and then make them use like iframes and mobility spells they wouldn't have to otherwise, and really putting yourself in a position to play aggressively, which is what Your Nightmare wants to do.
Yeah, then from there it's just a chase game. You just spacebar in, you just kind of whittle around them, see if they use maybe one more iframe. If they have the second one, they probably wouldn't waste it after they've already wasted it from your pull.
Right.
And then from there, your team just follows suit. You entangle their support and then just do as much damage as possible. Bako really struggling to find a lot of value, especially in that early push. The bubbles go down, he goes in. They have an idea what they want to do. They just want to open it up. They don't want to play that mid game. They just want to open it up immediately because they know that Varesh is going to poke them to death. Thorn, as you said, the best range character in the game. They don't want to go against that in that mid-range game.
Right.
Bako just knows he wants to go in. But if they don't either get everything on the Thorn immediately before he gets that Barbed Husk up, or just go straight for Lucy maybe, I don't really know, but it's been tough for him.
I think maybe a little bit more patient play would really benefit Sturmia and the boys quite a lot on the side of E United. We're often seeing him go in on the Bako and take a lot of damage trying to initiate onto Thorn. They're trying to force the situation earlier when we saw these two teams face off today. Where Sturmia would just get a lot of damage for free onto the Thorn, but Bako doesn't work quite the same.
Yeah.
He was playing Shifu earlier on, who just eats Thorn alive, but the Bako doesn't quite have the answers that Shifu does with the EX space and the big damage M2s. So he has to play it a little bit differently, and I think maybe he should start playing more patient. But then again, I'm not sure that would work out for the reasons you stated. The Varesh judgment, you can just get chunked from a distance so hard.
And but the opening he had when they matched each other in the first match of today, essentially Bako would always just rush on through, just run right past Thorn. He's like, okay, later, you deal with my backline, I'll deal with yours. Truce, cool. He would go straight to Varesh, 3 M1s, or at least a couple of things to get the E into the wall so that he can secure the M1. Wait for that. And the moment the counter hits, he just turns to Lucy, smacks her with an M2, and then chases her down instead.
Right.
Because now she's not going to put barrier on herself. They may have already put that onto Varesh. She also probably wasn't ready for the flick over. If he builds the snare M2, he can also just kind of walk and close that gap.
Right.
Because she's going to want to stay relatively close to her Varesh. And then from there, Varesh just needs to hopefully... Now, the map worked in Baku's favor because he'd shove Varesh in a corner and kind of walk around. And it was a little bit harder maybe for him to land the M2s. But that has not happened once so far.
Yeah, it's not been working out in their favor for sure. And they're going to have to make some adjustments, of course. But I'm really impressed, like I mentioned, by Your Nightmare's play. And Jürgen also having really high impact ults to help finish off the round. Jürgen has looked so good on the range these past couple weeks. His Jumong was very good last week. His Varesh very good this week. And he's the only one playing Varesh. So to see it work out like this is very cool.
Every time we watch a Lucy play, it's always one of those... Sometimes you just don't realize what she's done all match because it's just so subtle. Her animations aren't very flashy.
Right.
Aside from barrier, where it makes that big and everybody knows that it showed up. But even the clarity potion, like, it's pretty subtle.
Right. It's not like Ulrich where there are pixels everywhere.
Yeah. It's not a very flashy ability. So even when she lands those clarity potions, even for subtle things like getting rid of debuffs on Varesh, you're not going to really notice those little rings go away when another little thing happens. So the value that Lucy puts in is often kind of overshadowed by all the damage and all the action that's going on. The panics as well, getting the perfect panic.
Right.
Just to essentially, what makes panic so obnoxious is it's not just a CC, but it's like you're running away. And the funniest thing is when you hit like a Rook who's hasted.
Yeah.
Or
and then he just flies away. That's the best.
And then he's
you
like,
hit a hasted
okay,
player.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And he just bolts completely out of there. And again, if you're wondering why we're still sitting here, we're waiting for a reconnect. The player clearly having troubles. So you just have to deal with us while we wait.
That's so unfortunate.
Deal with it.
I can barely deal with myself. I can't imagine having to sit and listen to me talk.
Don't admit that. You fake it till you make it.
Dude,
Didn't I tell you that?
It's fun making fun of yourself.
It is fun,
It's
but you
very
don't
fun.
do it in front of tens of thousands of millions of people.
Tens of thousands of million, my God.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Are we breaking Twitch records?
I think so.
Crazy.
Right now, we just broke it 5 minutes ago. You guys in chat should be proud of yourselves. He's just going to make this last as long as possible.
Excafu, die. Thank you. All right.
BM.
I want to see this next round, man. I want to see if that reconnect has an effect on E United, whether or not they had a little bit of time to strategize, see how they want to play differently. I'm really excited for this match still. I'm definitely not counting E United out, even though Dolos have all the momentum moving forward.
I mean, a better opening from Bako or just being able to stagnate that initial push from Your Nightmare would pay a lot for them because they've really been struggling on mid control and just kind of making all the mobility in their favor. A lot of times they're mostly reacting as opposed to being able to control.
Yes, yes.
So May, let's see how this open works. The bubbles, will they come down?
The bubbles.
Bubble.
Yep, there they are.
Followed by an axe.
Sturmia gets that fish, gets that little damage bonus. Cute little Battlerite.
Goes in onto Jürgen. Trying to bait that counter out, which is not showing up. He's holding it. Jürgen's holding it as long as possible. He still hasn't used it. Barb Tusk is down. The end cap won't find any contact.
Yeah, everything working out for Red. E United get that orb, though, which is pretty big for him. They still have a pretty massive HP disadvantage, though, and Sturmia's out of cooldowns. He has to play very safe.
Yeah, but he's about to have an ultimate.
Yes, sir.
Nope, he goes for the end cap instead. Keeps the damage out of the silence, followed by the M2. There's the ultimate from Thorn. It's going to find a good amount of value, but nothing too crazy. He's got no support from his teammates right now. Baiting out the counter, having to use the R, I believe.
Ooh, a lot of damage here coming out onto Excafu. He has to play very safe, as does Naraga.
Oh.
Nobody on E United particularly healthy, Carpet, and Clarny's just taking the orb with the Lucy M1s.
Just taking his time up there, and I think Jürgen's counter did get hit. I couldn't tell what projectile smacked it. Naraga's now in a dangerous spot. He's got no more counter. Had to use bubble shields on himself. He's also going to get the blast shield.
Oh, They need to find this kill on the Thorn. He's doing whatever he wants. He has the ulti available too, looking like he's going to be able to finish off Naraga as he does. Man, Thorn ultimate is so high value this game. 2 very good targets for it. The ultimate for the Bako comes out, almost killing the Thorn, but not quite.
The body block. And it does reduce damage to the second person it hits. You do get the stun on both of them. Dolos, though, 4 rounds to none.
Yeah, and the Thorn is just doing whatever he wants. Your Nightmare's letting those dead roots rip whenever Naraga dives. Naraga didn't build into that dive reset when you go into the bubble. Clerney, he's just really watching his Thorn and enabling his Thorn. Really great Lucy plays. That's kind of what you want to do. If you're finding yourself caught out as a Lucy very far forward, you're probably doing something wrong. And the way he's positioning and supporting his ally, the Thorn, it's very good.
One more round for Dolos to see if they can really solidify that second place spot and prove that they deserved it. Thorn going straight onto Excafu. Clerney and Srmaya. This is actually what Srmaya's been wanting for a long, long time. Clerney trying to bait out that bulwark, but he just can't find it. Srmaya is just calling that bluff every single time. No, he still won't use bulwark. Clerney must be so frustrated. Srmaya doesn't care, but he missed the ult to point blank. Oh, no!
Not like this, dude. Things not working out too well after that ulti misses. Srmaya starts to eat quite a chunk of damage. Excafu as well. A nice cancel on that ultimate cast. Jürgen would have definitely won the round with that had it gone off.
Jürgen's got an ult. Your Nightmare's got an ult. He just wants to bait out the space. So much value out of that barbed husk. The orb again for red team. That's going to be 2 orbs to none for them. Excafu and Naraga are being very safe with their mobility right now. They know they want the ult combos. Naraga's got nothing, though. He tries to walk out. No, he spaces to the other side of the wall. Very smart from him. The Esmo ultimate is going to find some value on your Nightmare, but Bako might go down here. No, Excafu's going to go down first. Yes, he will. Dolos, 5 rounds to none.
Dolos really showing why AoE ultimates are very good against characters with only 1 mobility spell. After Excafu jumps, he just gets eaten alive by a goo. And the Dead Root's doing a lot of damage to Naraga early on in this round too. And Dolos, they're going to be our 2nd seed in Group A, Carpet.
And very strongly. You said they came in. They were the first ones to make it in through the qualifiers. Gets a little bit of an upset that they didn't make it into the 1st seed.
Yes.
But still showing they are definitely at the least 2nd seed.
Yeah. Dolos going to be 2nd seed, E United falling to 3rd, and Functional Sociopaths down there 4th. I think the big story in this group, though, is still just how Game On are at the top, and watching them was so much fun. Of course, we didn't get to watch Game On this week because they had to reschedule 2 matches, but now we have Group A. It is solved. We got Game On up top, followed by Dolos, E United, and Functional Sociopaths.
Bako, Srmaya, final.